Hey, welcome back to our Achievement Hunter series aimed at galloping through the Barrens gameplay achievements. We've already devoured all the achievements from Warrior through Priest in previous guides, and this time there are 3 Paladin achievements awaiting our pursuit. Let's get into it. This should be interesting. For today's video, we're covering the following 3 Paladin achievements. Spell Slingin Savior, requiring us to cast 5 Paladin holy spells in a single turn 15 times. Just between you and me, calling for us to trigger 5 Paladin secrets in a single turn. And Wear Your Sunday Best, ultimately expecting us to buff 600 minions with Invigorating Sermon. While each of these requires us to play specific Paladin cards, it's not mandatory to win games in order to complete these, so we can take a run at these with peculiar tactics when it makes things more interesting or efficient. As always, there are timestamps for each achievement and deck codes for each deck mentioned in the description in case you'd like to skip to one you're looking for. Now, let's demonstrate our authority over these achievements. Let's start off with the most simple and straightforward of the Paladin achievements. Wear Your Sunday Best. For this one, we've got to buff 600 minions with Invigorating Sermon, which sounds like a daunting task, but if your deck is mostly minions, it won't actually take all that long. Now, usually an achievement requiring us to play a specific card would take quite a while to draw the necessary card, but since Invigorating Sermon is a holy spell, we can improve the chances of drawing it quickly with a card like Knight of Anointment, especially if Invigorating Sermon is the only holy spell in the deck. That's exactly what this deck we use to complete the achievement, Only Sermons Allowed, does. This is a slightly modified version of a deck by Regis Kilbin, which we modified to have Invigorating Sermon as the only spell in the entire deck. Playing 11 games with this deck was enough to complete this achievement after a couple games testing out Regis's version. What surprised us the most was that we won 9 out of the 11 games with this deck, so it actually feels pretty strong. However, if you want to complete this a little faster, you could try out this deck that adjusts the list even further to include Educated Elix. One of our viewers mentioned the Elix as a smart way to get even more copies to play per game. And indeed, it feels good to still get value from Knight of Anointment later in the game if you drew one of the Invigorating Sermons naturally. Druids aren't the only ones who can transform animated broomsticks into intimidating powerhouses buffed by +4/+4. And if you want a fun deck that may be even a little faster to pull this off in Wild, you could try out this Invigorating buff deck that runs Archmage Vargoth as well. Now, one thing I will note, since we built this deck with a buff Paladin as the base, the buffs from Invigorating Sermon do affect the stats of minions while they're still in your deck, so cards like Christology and Salhet's Pride become useless once you've played a copy of Invigorating Sermon. So, to keep things flowing in the deck, we added in another Mean Street Marshal and small-time recruits alongside Righteous Protectors to make the deck more reliable. It still felt really good and allowed us to pull off a couple games where we got value from both Educated Elix and Archmage Vargoth. Have fun invigorating your minions to the point that the opponent just explodes. This next achievement expects you to be extremely holy, like 15 times 5 levels of holy. Spell Slingin Savior isn't terribly difficult to pull off with a Libram Paladin, but unless you're ridiculously lucky, you'll be playing a fair number of games to complete this one as well. I think the card this achievement had in mind to help pull this off was Cariel Rome, as her discounts will make some of the more expensive holy spells easier to chain into a single turn. However, the card that really makes this go faster is Lady Liadrin, alongside a number of Librams of Wisdom. But since both of those are legendaries, which not everyone will have, we'll start off with a deck that can complete this without any legendaries whatsoever, though it does have a number of epics. This War Medic's Holy Shields deck still uses the Libram package, but runs quite a few other cheap holy spells to pair alongside them. However, Libram of Wisdom is still the best way to play a bunch of cheap spells in one turn. So how do you get extra copies of Libram of Wisdom without Lady Liadrin? By using Gift of Luminance on a minion you buffed with Libram of Wisdom. And what minion will give you amazing value to keep you in the game with Librams of Wisdom and Gift of Luminance? Veteran War Medic. She also makes games a lot more interesting to play out if you have her in your collection, though any decent value minion would be fine to replace her if you don't have her. Now, if you do have Lady Liadrin and Cariel Rome, and you still want to play a version with Veteran War Medic, this War Medic's Holy Light version was a lot of fun. Gift of Luminance can still speed things up, but it's also a good way to protect Cariel Rome and get some more value out of her, allowing you to pull off 5 holy spell turns even earlier. Of course, if you're just looking for the strongest deck to pull this off, this meta version of Secret Libram Paladin from HS Replay is probably the strongest and most reliable way to complete the achievement. One challenge you may experience with the deck is ensuring you don't overwhelm your opponent too quickly so that you can actually play Lady Liadrin and get enough Librams to play 5 together in a turn. And when you do, you'll find yourself hoping that the opponent can actually clear your buffed minions so that you can go another turn with the setup you finally developed. And we did make an alternate version of this as well for viewers without many legendaries. This Holy Secret Librams drops all the legendaries, including Talon, even though he's free with the core set, because he didn't make as much sense without Lady Liadrin. So just like with War Medic's Holy Shields, this runs a few more cheap holy spells and Gift of Luminance for a chance to copy minions for additional Librams of Wisdom. There are plenty of ways to approach this one, but Libram of Wisdom certainly feels like the savior of this achievement. And now, it looks like Paladins are eager to get their secrets out into the open. Just Between You and Me requires that we trigger 5 Paladin secrets in a single turn. There are exactly 5 Paladin secrets in Standard at the moment, and it's actually not all that difficult to equip all 5 of them at once, but hoping that your opponent will actually trigger all of them for you in one turn is rather impractical. It can happen if you play enough games and find a cooperative opponent, but it'll most likely take a very long time. Still, if you really want to go for it in Standard, you can try completing it with this all 5 secrets Paladin. If you save a charge from the Sword of the Fallen, it won't be too difficult to get all 5 secrets equipped at the same time. But as mentioned a moment ago, actually getting an opponent to trigger all 5 at once will be a challenge. I guess if you are going this route, you're probably better off waiting till a little later in the game to equip all 5 secrets so that there's a better chance the opponent has a 3+ attack minion and can play enough cards in a single turn to trigger Galloping Savior too. But the deck we'd recommend for this achievement is this Super Secret Triggers deck in Wild. The secret package it uses is Auto Defense Matrix, Avenge, Getaway Kodo, Noble Sacrifice, and Redemption. The chain of events when your opponent attacks one of your minions is that the minion they attack will gain Divine Shield from Auto Defense Matrix, but the Noble Sacrifice Defender will pop out and die to the attack, triggering Avenge, Getaway Kodo, and Redemption all at once. If you have Mysterious Challenger, it'll be even easier to equip all 5 secrets at once. And as you can see from the gameplay when we completed it, Commander Risa will actually allow you to complete this even if you don't have all 5 secrets out there, as her effect makes each secret count twice. You can certainly complete this without Risa, especially if you use the combination of secrets we've got here, but she does make it a little easier to pull off. And if you want to mix up the secrets a bit, that can work too, but this combo is the one we think will be the most reliable. Good luck exposing all your secrets. And that's a wrap. If you found this helpful, drop a like. When enough noble viewers lend us a hand by pressing the like button, the YouTube algorithm can't remain apathetic. If you'd like to see guides for the rest of the Forged in the Barrens gameplay achievements, there are links in the description to previous ones, and new ones are coming soon. So be sure to check back soon, or subscribe, because we make blessed content. Also, if you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy participating in experiments live, check out our stream at twitch.tv/SSAlchemist. We currently stream on Saturdays and Sundays. And remember, you're awesome. Thank you for watching, and have an awesome day.
strength and honor. This is who we are.